Good morning, everyone. It's Episcopo Squirrel here, also known as Alchemage, here to do this morning's Dab with Mage. Who'd have thought? But on Dabbing with the Mage, episode 181, you'd be taking dabs with the Mage. I don't have any music playing this morning. Kind of digging the silence. Difficult dreams of dealing with my estranged father all night. That was fun. But today I'm going to answer the biweekly Tribe Steam Up question, which was actually put forth by myself. The question is, how does one deal with / accept a loved one who displays self-destructive behaviors? So, it's going to be kind of a deep topic this morning. First, cheers. So, how does one deal with a loved one who displays self-destructive behaviors? Well, let me begin by saying that this is a really personal topic for me. In a lot of ways. First, mainly, the big thing is through the 30 years that I've been alive, more than half of that, I have displayed self-destructive tendencies. From cutting myself as a child and becoming an alcoholic at the age of 12 to getting into harder drugs around 15 and becoming addicted to cocaine by the age of 18. I was really self-destructive for many years. And not to give excuses, but, I have a lot of trauma in my past that I didn't know how to deal with. And, I read at Truck Life Families answer to this question just a moment ago. And one of the things that they pointed out was that, our lives are made up of these compilations of everything in the past, everything that happens to us, everything that we do. And when the darkness is brought into our lives and we don't face it, instead we just mask it or push it aside and don't bring it to the forefront. When we do this, it gets stuck in our shadow. I've mentioned the shadow self before. The shadow is all of that which lies in the unconscious and is unconsciously affecting our conscious decisions, our waking decisions, and really even our subconscious as well. As we sleep, this unconscious self, this shadow self, will creep in and affect our dreams. And so, I found myself in the darkness for many years, and I joined the military for free rehabilitation from cocaine. I had started selling cocaine at one point and was doing several grams of cocaine a day, and it just wasn't good. So I joined the military, and that turned me back into a severe alcoholic. And One of my loved ones in the military actually pointed out how much that I was drinking and helped me to stop drinking. And um, it was all my own efforts, and I feel like that's a big thing that really has to happen when an individual wants to change, is that it has to come from themselves. You know, as a partner in a relationship of any kind, be it a friendship, be it as a mother, father, child, a granddaughter, aunt, uncle, whatever, in any kind of relationship, it's okay to tell the other person, if their behaviors are frightening you, if they are causing you pain in any way. It's okay to tell that person how you're feeling. You know, the main thing about expressing your feelings, though, is you can't be accusatory. You can't, you have to, you know, talk about your feelings. So, for instance, when someone that you're in a relationship with is, say, drinking, and their alcohol use hurts you in some way or scares you, so to say, then, instead of saying, you scare me when you're drunk, you know, something like that, it's more of something along the lines of, when you drink, I feel fearful, you know? So actually talking about the action the other individual does and how you feel about that action. And you have to really focus on feelings, Um, I don't know how to really put it in words at this moment or off the top of my head, but, there's a difference between becoming accusatory and talking about your feelings. Becoming accusatory is like, um, I don't like when you do this. You do this. You do this thing, and um, you do it because of this, or something along the lines of that. Instead of saying, um, I feel sad. I feel sad when you use alcohol. You know, um, this is okay. Those things are okay. So make sure that if you're bringing these things up to another individual, that you're actually focusing on your feelings and not accusing the other individual of doing something. Like, oh, excuse me. Now I can think of one off the top of my head. Is when you drink, you hurt me. That's an accusatory statement. You know, um, you hurt me. You're not taking responsibility for your own feelings at that point. You know, when you drink, you make me sad. That's still accusatory. So something along the lines of, when you drink, I feel sad. When you drink, I feel angry. These different things about your actual feelings. And so, um, yeah. So, um, that said, that's the main thing right there for me. Why it's so personal, is because I display self-destructive tendencies myself, um, and I'm doing my best to heal. And the relationship that I'm in right now, um, is one of the best relationships I've been in, but also one of the most difficult relationships I've ever been in. And this is because both of us have chronic PTSD. Both of us have severe trauma in our lives, and both of us have sexual trauma in our lives. And so this makes it really difficult to uh, be with one another, Um, we love each other so much, but because we're so easily triggered, we get into fights really easy. And it's never like over something important. Maybe once or twice we've had an actual, like, genuine fight, but Otherwise, the rest of our fights, the horribleness between us, is all because of our traumas and our interpersonal experiences with other people, and the way that our minds have actually been shaped from experiences between other people. And so, um, a friend made the comment, um, because we have PTSD, or asked if we, because we have PTSD, if it's difficult to get close. And I don't think so. We're very close. We're extremely close, but it's actually being close together that makes it difficult. Um, so, that said, my partner is dealing with alcoholism. It's what she's used to cope for many years, and I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with it. Um, it's what she learned, um, but it's gotten to a point that our relationship suffers when either of us drink, and me as a recovering alcoholic myself, you know, it's just too easy for me to drink when she's drinking, and um, it's really difficult for me to say no. And so, when we first got together, we've been together for over a year now, and we've been working on cutting alcohol completely out of our relationship. But you know, um, when we first got together, you know, I went down, down, down a dark road with alcohol again, and it's all my fault. I accept responsibility, but being in an environment where alcohol was just constantly flowing, it was just too easy to become addicted again. And um, as I finally began to notice how much our relationship was suffering because of alcohol, I finally took the stand and said that, I can't have this anymore. Um, Drinking in general is hurting me, you know. I still drink, I've got a empty beer bottle right here. Y'all have seen me drink on cam. Um, but I'm trying to really reduce the amount that I drink. Like yesterday, I only drank that one beer. Technically, it's 2.5 beers. It's a fucking, or 2 beers, whatever. It's one of these tall boys. So anyway, that said, I'm trying to reduce that, and trying to reduce the amount of fights that we have in our relationship. And so, when I brought this up, I made sure to really focus on my feelings and let her know how I felt. And, I was scared, and I was, um, I was sad, and I was hurt in so many different ways. And I know we've hurt each other because of our drinking. And that's not okay, and that's not okay with me. And so I made that very clear to her, as clear as I could. And um, she was very open to hearing my feelings and supporting my feelings. Um, it's been a difficult road. Both of us have slipped up. Just the other day, I drank before picking her up. Um, that really upset her, obviously. That upset me as well. Um, I don't like to display these self-destructive behaviors and cause other people in my life that have those tendencies to also want to give in to their own desires. And so, really, I think the big takeaway from this video is that to deal with someone that you love who's displaying self-destructive tendencies, the best thing to do is to really tell them your feelings. Don't stand down from your truth. no matter what that other individual says, because I know myself, even as an addict and as someone who has hurt myself in many ways, I'll do what I can to defend my behavior and make you feel wrong. You know, it's I'm trying now that I'm more conscious of myself, that I'm more self-aware, to actually accept my actions and accept how my actions can affect another individual. It's difficult to do for an addict, for anyone who is hiding from themselves. You know, it's really difficult to actually accept your behaviors as being destructive to others and self-destructive. And so, stand true to your word. You know, don't back down no matter what the other individual says, and support them. And supporting someone doesn't mean that you have to like what they're doing. You know, supporting someone there's many different forms of supporting someone. You know, you can support someone from a distance. You can love someone from a distance. If their behaviors become too destructive and are affecting you in such a way that you cannot maintain a healthy life at all, then maybe it's time to step away and love that person from a distance. And that doesn't mean you're no longer supporting them, because, you know, in your heart, you can still support them. You can support them from a distance. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to give them space. You don't have to give them time to support them. Just giving your thoughts to that individual, just recognizing that you want that individual to succeed, is supporting that individual. And it may seem counterintuitive to leave an individual that is hurting, but if that individual is hurting you, you need to take care of yourself as well. And it's a really difficult decision to make. It's never easy. So, yeah, just support your people, support your loved ones. And that's the thing about love, is like, you love someone and it's unconditional. If there's conditions to you loving someone, it's not conditional. You know, it's conditional, and it's no longer love. It's not unconditional. To me, any form of love is unconditional, be it with a partner, with intimacy, or be it with a friend or family member. That love comes with no conditions. You just love that individual because you love that individual. And so, when you are loving someone who has self-destructive tendencies, to force them to change is not love. You know, to let them know how you're feeling about their actions towards you, or their actions in general, that's love. That's communication. That's opening your heart to another individual and allowing yourself to become vulnerable. Someone, I put that in quotes because someone the other day mentioned, is that actually vulnerable, or is that strength, or whatever? Like, you know, I do see it as being vulnerable, but it's also a strength. But anyways, that's another topic. So, love your people with all of your heart, but love yourself. Be clear with your communication. Communicate your feelings. Don't be accusatory. And just, yeah, I don't know. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Yeah. I feel like I didn't finish my story. But I'm already at 20 minutes, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have questions on the story that I didn't finish, if I didn't finish it, 'cause I don't know, I talked on so many different points, just ask me questions down below in comments, and I'll answer anything that I can as truthfully and honestly as I can. I'm an open book as much as possible. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Cheers. Off to do some chemistry.